We are Team B of Plus 2 Bioscience. Today, the topic of our presentation is environmental problems faced by us today. First of all, one of the major environmental problems faced by us today is global warming. We know that global warming has become a major concern in the world. We have also started facing its effects in recent years. The term global warming denotes a rise in average temperature. A steady rise in the Earth's temperature is noted since the beginning of industrial revolution. The prime cause of global warming is the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect is caused due to the gases which absorb and reflect radiant energy. The gases responsible for greenhouse effect are greenhouse gases. They are CO2, methane, ozone and water vapor. We need greenhouse gases in moderate quantities for maintaining average temperature. But human activities such as industrialization, deforestation and environmental pollution has caused an increase in the greenhouse gases. This results in the increase in average temperature and causes global warming. Global warming is a global issue. Let's unite and stand together to prevent this man-made curse and make our earth a better place for future generations.
Secondly, the major environment problem faced by us today air pollution. Cars and factories produce pollutions including nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, and hydrocarbons. These chemicals react with the sunlight to produce smoke, a thick fog, or haze of air pollution. Smog makes breathing difficult. When air pollution such as nitrogen oxide and sulfur dioxide mix with moisture, they change into acids. They then fall back to earth as acid rain. Acid rain can kill all the trees and living organisms on land and water. Acid rain also wears and damages many historic buildings and monuments. Human activities such as burning fossil fuels and destroying forests have increased the amount of greenhouse gases. Such carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide in the atmosphere. Greenhouse gases are another source of air pollution. This causes average temperatures across the globe to rise. Chlorofluorocarbons are a dangerous form of air pollution. CFC are found in gases that cool refrigerations in farm products in aerosol cans. CFC damaged the ozone layer, a region Earth's upper atmosphere. The ozone layer protects Earth by absorbing much of the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation. When people are exposed to more ultraviolet radiation, they are more likely to develop skin cancer by diseases and other illnesses. Air pollution causes difficulty in breathing, wheezing, coughing, and asthma.
Thirdly, the major environmental problem faced by us today is deforestation. Deforestation refers to the decrease in forest areas across the world that are lost for other uses such as agricultural croplands, urbanization, or mining activities. The construction of human infrastructures has also been driving deforestation. It has many consequences for natural ecosystems and it poses serious problems to the resilience of the planet. The most known consequence of deforestation is its threat to biodiversity. In fact, forests represent some of the most vegetable hubs of biodiversity. From mammals to birds, insects, amphibians, or plants, the forest is home to many rare and fragile species. By destroying the forest, human activities are putting entire ecosystems in danger, creating natural imbalances and putting life at threat. We can help stop deforestation by eating less meat, avoiding single use packaging, eat sustainable food, and choosing recycled or responsibly produced wood products. They can also go paperless at home or in the office, recycle products, and avoid palm oil and planting trees.
Biodiversity loss. The past 50 years have seen a rapid growth of human consumption, population, global trade, and urbanization, resulting in humanity using more of the earth's resources than it can replenish naturally. Recent studies have shown a drastic reduction in the population of mammals, fish, birds, reptiles, and amphibians. Animals such as pangolins, sharks, and seahorses are significantly affected by the illegal wildlife trade. More broadly, a recent analysis have found that the sixth mass extinction of the wildlife on Earth is accelerating. More than 500 species of land animals are on the brink of extinction and are likely to be lost within 20 years. The same number were lost over the whole of the last century. The scientists say that without the human destruction of nature, this rate of loss would have taken thousands of years.
One of the other major environmental problems faced by us today is ocean acidification. Ocean acidification reduces the amount of carbonate, a key building block in seawater. This makes it more difficult for marine organisms such as coral and some plankton to form their shells and skeletons, and existing shells may begin to dissolve. The present day pH of seawater is highly variable, and a single organism can cope with fluctuations of different pH levels during its lifetime. The problem with ocean acidification is the sustained nature of change, as the risk comes from the lifetime exposure to lower pH levels. The rapid pace of acidification will influence the extent to which calcifying organisms will be able to adapt. The impacts of ocean acidification are not uniform across all species. Some algae and seagrass may benefit from higher CO2 concentrations in the ocean, as they may increase their photosynthetic and growth rates. However, a more acidic environment will harm other marine species such as mollusks and corals and some varieties of plankton. The shells and skeletons of these animals may become less dense or strong. In the case of coral reef, this may make them more vulnerable to storm damage and slow the recovery rate.
The other major environmental problem faced by us today is melting ice caps and sea level rise. There is still some uncertainty about the full volume of the glaciers and ice caps on the Earth. But if all of them were to melt, global sea level would rise approximately 70 meters, flooding every coastal city on the planet. Ice melting from land into the ocean, warming waters that expand, a slowing Gulf Stream, and sinking land all contribute to sea level rise. Although a global phenomenon, the amount and speed of sea level rise varies by location, even between the east and west coasts. The potential for enhanced natural emission of carbon dioxide and methane to the atmosphere, shrinking of mountain glaciers and large ice sheets with consequent sea level rise and impacts on water resources are the effects of ice cap melting. Global warming is causing global mean sea level to rise in two ways. First, glaciers and ice sheets worldwide are melting and adding water to ocean. Second, the volume of ocean is expanding as the water warms. Melting glaciers add to rising sea level, which is turn increasing the coastal region.
Other major problem faced by us are plastic pollution. Plastic pollution is the accumulation of plastic objects and particles. Example, plastic bottles, bags, and microbeads in the earth environment that adversely affect wildlife, wild habitat, and humans. Plastic that act as a pollutants are categorized by size into macro, meso, or macro debris. Plastics are inexpensive and durable, making them very adaptable for different uses. As a result, humans produce a lot of plastics. However, the chemical structure of the most plastics renders them resistant to many natural processes of degradation, and as a result, they are slow to degrade. Together, these two factors allow large volumes of plastics to enter the environment as mismanaged waste and for it to persist in the ecosystem.
Other major environmental problem faced by us are overpopulation. Overpopulation is the state whereby the human population rises to an extent exceeding the carrying capacity of the ecological setting. In an overpopulated environment, the number of people might be more than the available essential material for survival, such as transport, water, shelter, food, or social amenities. Due to overpopulation and our constant need for factory made products, there has occurred a loss of fresh water in the rivers and oceans. Overpopulation could lead to higher prices as the availability of medicine, food, and daily necessities fluctuate due to population growth and migration. Poor families may not be able to afford these comforts. This would cause them to be vulnerable. Our environment faces several problems, and many of these seem to be worsening with time, bringing us into a time of a true environmental crisis. It is therefore becoming increasingly important to raise awareness of the existence of these issues as well as what can be done to reduce their negative impact. That's all. Thank you for listening.